What's up, Dirty Cones? So, I'm at my desk, and I have discovered that people can message me privately. Oh, and there are a whole lot of people that message me privately, and so I apologize that I'm now attempting to answer, but I feel bad because I didn't know. If I had known, I would have known to check the messages. So I'm sorry, but I got some good questions, and I wanted to answer them for you. A lot of people ask me about my first mission. I don't like talking about that one. That was not a good one. And maybe you guys have noticed I always kind of skip the wartime stuff and go more to the peacetime. I apologize for that. It just, I don't know. Not ready to talk about like that kind of stuff yet. And I'm sure if you listen tonight to the Chairborne Commandos, I'm sure I'll tell some stories. And so maybe I'll tell that one tonight. I just I don't know. I steer clear of. Nobody likes to talk about bad stuff, so I always try to do that positive spin on things. I mean, as a PJ, you're gonna see death, destruction. That's just how it goes. But when it comes to talking about stuff, I usually just choose to talk about the happy stuff. You know, when people say, "Oh man, you're a PJ. How's that like?" or "What do you do?" and like, you know, man, I get paid to get drunk with my friends and fall out of airplanes, and I spin it like that, so that way I don't think about, well, I get paid to risk my life and lose my friends. You know, I get paid to lose my friends, and so for me, I don't talk about the bad stuff. And maybe, you know, I'd be better off if I did talk about the bad stuff, but then I'd be all some kind of grumpy, crusty, angry old PJ, just like rah 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 rah. You know, and nobody likes that guy. So I try to be the happy PJ, you know, your friendly neighborhood pararescue man, and so that's why I talk about good things and steer away from the bad. So we'll see. Maybe tonight I'll have a beer with the Chairborne guys, and maybe it'll come out. So we'll see. People want to know if recruiters, if they got a program to train PJ, you know, help guys who want to be PJs. The recruiters should have something. I'm not saying they all do, but they should, because I believe that there's some paperwork, and if you're near a base, hit up a rescue unit or an STS or any of those kind of places, and usually someone will help you. And if they look young enough, be like, Mr. Maroney said I could talk to a PJ and he would probably help me. And he said if they were young enough that he'd probably gone to the pool with them on the weekends and helped them, and that if you would go to the pool with them at least once or twice, maybe talk to him a little bit, he would call the debt settled and be very gracious and owe you a favor. So any PJs or controllers that are out there, even if I'll owe you a favor. I'll owe you some beer, I'll owe you something. I think we need to help these guys, and I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't believe in our mission and their mission, and, you know, the mission of a pararescueman, you know, to help others. So that's my, not a plea, but my request to you. So another guy in Nevada looking for someone to work with. I'm telling you guys, in Nevada, you are on the mother lode of cones. You got a rescue unit there. You've got there's a bunch of dudes there. It's there. You just gotta find somebody. let's see. Where was the one? Oh, all right. So here's the big one I was looking for. So, you know, nobody really wants to kill anybody. I mean, you know, there's a difference. You know, someone's attacking you, or, you know, gonna hurt your family, or gonna hurt somebody, or, you know, dark alley and somebody's being mugged. I think it's important to do the right thing, and, you know, you only kill in self-defense, or, you know, if they're really bad people, I guess. But even then, I think that comes down to self-defense, because, you know, they invaded, or not invaded, but they blew up our buildings. We invaded Afghanistan, so I believe it's self-defense, but I don't know. But as a PJ, I've seen a couple guys kind of deal with it, or I've seen a couple guys lose it in dealing with, you know, how do I reconcile, you know, I'm a Christian, or I'm a Buddhist, or I'm this and I'm that, and I don't want to kill anybody, or I don't think I should kill anybody, or, you know, guns are bad, or something. And if you believe that strongly, you know, against something, then, you know, maybe the Red Cross, or Doctors Without Borders, or maybe Navy SAR might be your way to go. But so when I was a student, I don't know, maybe it was like third or fourth week, I have to look in my diary, or my little log that I kept. I call it a diary because I would make fun of myself, because I'm like, who writes a diary? But it's pretty good, because I can look back and tell you, you know, what was I doing on March 19th of 2001, or 2002, or, you know, wherever. 2002 I was in Pakistan, but 2001 I was paramedic school. 2000 I was in Mozambique. 1999. I have no idea. I'd have to look that one up. But anyway, so third or fourth week of Indoc, I was having this, somebody asked me something, well, because I went to church every Sunday, and somebody said, you sure go to church a lot? I'm like, it's only Sundays. It's not that big a deal. And they're like, well, how's God feel about you killing somebody? And I'm like, what? They're like, well, what do you do if you have to kill somebody? And I'm like, wow, I don't know. That's a good question. You know, I hadn't really gotten to that point. And that night, I had a dream, and my dream was, I was a PJ in Vietnam, and I was doing a rescue on a helicopter, and, you know, it was the classic, you know, down the hoist mission, and you're getting shot at, and an NVA guy runs out into the open, and he's shooting at me, and I shoot him, and but then when I get down off the hoist after I've rescued the pilot, I go and I patch him up and take him with us. And I mean, even though it's probably worse for him now, he's a POW. For me, that was how I reconciled. I said, well, I'll save whoever I shoot, you know, and I'll be okay with it. And I was fine with it. And it's, I don't know if it's the right answer, but it was the answer for me that made sense. If someone's trying to kill me, or kill my friends, or kill the pilot that I'm there to save, then it's defensive. You know, I didn't go out there, I don't have any malice towards that guy. If I walked into that guy and on the street and, you know, say, hey, excuse me, or hey, want to get some coffee, you know, I wouldn't know him from anybody. It wouldn't be anything. So I wasn't there with the intent to hurt him, kill him, or do anything. So that's why pararescue works for me. You know, I'm not looking to hurt people. If things I do, they're in a defensive manner, then I believe that God understands that. And, you know, I know that certain religions are are more bound to, not hurting people. But I think that most religions, or anyone can agree, atheists, whatever, that self-preservation, without malice, is probably not a bad thing. So I don't have a problem with that. And a lot of people asking, I was thinking about doing something else, and I'll cross-train into pararescue. What do you think? I think that if you're not ready, that you shouldn't come. You should wait to come to pararescue. So when you feel that you can give 100%, when you feel that you're dedicated 100%, when you feel that you can do it all, then I would say go for it. If you don't feel 100% up to task, then probably not a good idea. So nothing wrong with doing other stuff and coming back. If your parents are worried about you coming into pararescue, or any kind of job, for whatever reason, don't get in fights with them. Speak to them, because you can only be in the military for 20 years. So after that, you can be in longer, but basically you're only going to do 20 years with the job. So that relationship with your family is pretty important. And I'm not saying to sacrifice what you want to do, but you got to do it the right way. So speak to them, as an adult. Ask them, what they wanted to do when they were younger, if they did it, if they didn't do it. My dad always kind of advised me on more of a logical, you get a good job, you have a good life type of thing, whereas I kind of am a swing for the fences kind of guy and go, if you want it, do it, Is it guaranteed you're going to get paid? No. Is it guaranteed you're going to live? No. But is it cool, fun, and something you want to do? Alright, go for it. Just gotta understand, parents are parents, people are people, everybody handles things differently, and that overall they're probably just concerned for your safety, and, there's no book on how to be a parent, so if someone writes one or has the answer to everything in life, feel free to give me a call. I would love to hear the answers, because, I don't have them. I'm learning every day on what to do. So, dang it. And here's a first. I am going to read an email, because I like the way it goes. So, this young man says, I spoke with a couple of guys from the 304th RQS here in Portland about their experience in a reserve guard unit, and they pretty much had nothing but good things to say, especially regarding the enlistment process. As one of them put it, instead of just being a piece of paper and a stack on a recruiter's desk, you are a real person to the guard unit that you interview with in order to begin the enlistment process, and they want you to get into the pipeline, which I would like the sound of. They also said that there were way less bureaucratic BS to deal with in general. You have more control over your life, you still get to deploy regularly, you can be full-time, and you have the option to get pinged by other units for more deployments missions if you want. So the questions are, does my impression of Guard Reserve seem accurate? Yes, your impression of the Guard and Reserve, there's a patch that's been floating around the reserves for a while, and it says Fubajar, and it means fuck you buddy, I'm just a reservist. And reservists and guardsmen are generally happier than their active duty counterparts. Now the active duty might get more chances to train because you are a full-time pararescueman, so your only job is to be a PJ, so usually there's more training going on. But a lot of the guard and reserves are starting to pick up on their training quota, so that line's kind of blurry. which leads to his second question. My one worry about going guard instead of active duty is that there wouldn't be enough happening on a day-to-day basis. I definitely want to be full-time and have no interest in working a day job or doing anything besides pararescue. My concern is that because a lot of guys in guard reserve units may be part-time, the unit doesn't train as frequently as an active duty unit. Can you shed any light on this? And like I just said, there are only so many full-time slots for guard and reserve, so everybody is a traditional reservist. So that's your 1 week in a month, 2 weeks a summer. While you're going through the pipeline, and for a year after, you have what's called your prog tour, and so you basically be on active duty because all the schooling is going to take a long time. But after that, if you don't have a full-time slot, you won't be having a full-time slot. So, but there are chances to work more, like I said, especially if you get tasked with supporting another unit, you can do more. Maybe if you live in California, they got a good team up in Moffett. They're always rescuing people out in the middle of the ocean. Same thing in New York. So there might be more of a chance, of picking people up and doing stuff. So it happens. I kind of like the go active duty, do a